Psychotic Tendencies. You guys are from Bryan, Texas. If you could introduce yourselves, go for it.
I'm Eve. I play bass and I sing.
I'm Julian and I play drums.
I'm Jonas. I play guitar.
Nice. So you guys are all siblings. How do you get on? Do you always see eye to eye in the band? Are there different directions? Do you have issues? Do you have sibling rivalry?
There's times where we definitely don't see eye to eye, but like we figure it all out because we have to see each other at the end of the day. Like, literally, we live together, so we can't argue and just escape from each other.
That's fair
Yeah.
enough. No, that's fair enough. How did the band start? How did that look like? Did someone just go knock on someone else's bedroom door and be like, do you want to be in a band? How did you come up with that?
We had a couple friends come over and just teach us some stuff in the beginning. And then we all just started playing together. It just really formed from there. And then my dad had like a birthday show thing and we just played at that and then we started from there.
You guys weren't like raised playing your instruments. That's something that you picked up later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I always think I just presumed that you guys were like came out the womb with instruments and went in that direction, but that's really impressive. I think one of the earliest videos going back that I've watched of you guys, I think Eve at the time you were something like 13. You looked very different, I might add. So about when did you start? When was that?
2018. I don't know.
Some of us played before we started in the band, just like
Right.
lightly, but then
Yeah.
like once the band picked up, we started getting more serious about our instruments. So I would say I played for like 3 years, 4 years.
Cool.
Is the question how long was I playing bass before?
Oh, so you played other instruments? No, we can go from there. So what were you playing before bass?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Oh, so you went straight into bass. I think most people tend to go guitar first, don't they? So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So were you like 12, 13 when you started playing bass?
I was like 10.
Oh, that's so cool. I have no talent. So I'm always very jealous when people tell me they can play an instrument. And then when you took up singing, when was that?
I would say she was like 12, 13 is when she started singing for the band.
Yeah, probably.
That's ballsy for that age. And especially as well, sort of some of the topics that you guys are singing about are huge. I mean, do you write the lyrics first of all, Eve?
Yes.
So
Sorry.
how do you find that being in a band? I mean, like, I think Keep Your Dick in Your Pants is like an absolute anthem. Does that not get awkward if, like, you know, your dad's there and then your brothers are with you? And is there any topics that you find like embarrassing or awkward to shout about on stage when you've got your family there?
No, not really, just because that stuff has always been like open topics in my house. So it doesn't really feel like awkward. It's just what I enjoy singing about. So I don't really feel any different if like my parents or whoever's there.
Your vocal style in particular, do you find yourself often getting compared to other female fronted bands and everyone says, oh, you sound like this, you sound like that?
Yeah.
Any standout ones?
I usually just kind of ignore it and forget, honestly.
Yeah. And that goes for all of you as well. At your sort of age, do you often get people approaching you at shows and being like, oh, you're really good for your age?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've heard that a couple of times.
Does that, I mean, like, how does that affect you? Do you find it as a compliment, or do you just tell them to do one?
Sometimes it bugs me because it's like, why does it matter how old we are if you think we're good?
Yeah.
Like, why does it matter our age? Like, if we're playing with all these people who are adults and able to keep up with them, why should it matter that we're younger?
I don't really care too much personally
Yeah.
what they say.
Your sort of influences, what kind of music were you brought up on? Was sort of like the thrash hardcore always there from very young kids, or again, is that something you later got into?
I would say we've been listening to just all types of punk since we were born, pretty much, like growing up listening to punk.
Yeah. Was your dad in a band? Is your dad in a band?
No.
No. So how are you guys doing this then? Are you getting with everything, with sort of advertising, if you can call it that, promoting, recording the music, are you all just kind of like making it up as you go along, or have you got someone there who's coaching you through it? Is it true DIY kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say.
A little of both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our father that mostly helps us with stuff.
He manages it, but we write all our own songs.
Yeah.
Like us three do all the music writing. He
Yeah.
helps with like posting and getting us shows.
That's amazing to have that sort of support network. And like you said earlier, with like nothing being a closed book in your house, I think as far as like writing about the subjects that you write about, that's like absolutely the best thing for it. So congratulations for having such a cool family. Because you're so early on sort of in your career, what would success look like to you? Do you have an end goal with the band, or is it just to go with the flow?
My goal is to go with the flow.
Yeah.
It's like, see where it goes.
I'm just gonna take it as far as it will go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you have any like sort of aims you'd want to play this stage at a festival, or?
I think playing Rebellion would be
Seriously,
really cool.
Oh, cool. Do you want to sort of tour a lot? I mean, with COVID hopefully coming to a some sort of close now, will you be traveling? Will you be trying to get gigs abroad?
Yeah, I hope we will.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID, all living under the same household, it wouldn't have affected the band too much with sort of, I suppose you couldn't make any excuse not to practice.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. Most bands wouldn't have had that.
Yeah.
You do have one, I mean, I don't know what sort of album. I don't know whether you're selling it as an album, recorded and out. When did that come out? If you could tell me a little bit about that. When did that come out? Are you planning another one at all?
That was 29.
Sort of what it is on your YouTube, you've got enough there to make an album. There's like one ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you are like, can you put that on Spotify? Is it on Spotify? Can people buy it? Where can they go?
I believe the album we recorded is on Spotify.
I don't
the main
think
one.
all of it is.
Pandemonium, the album that we have recorded.
Uh-huh.
That one's on Spotify. And then we do have a couple songs written that aren't recorded, but we want to make another album soon with some more stuff we have written.
Yeah.
Please do keep your dick in your pants. It's going to be my anthem. The name Psychotic Tendencies, who came up with that? Where did that come from? Is it a nod to suicidal tendencies?
That is it.
I came up with it. I don't remember how. It had nothing to do with suicidal tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that after
I
came up with the name and everyone really liked it, I was like, oh, hopefully that won't be a problem.
Yeah.
No, I think it's an awesome name. And I think it's even better that people will make somewhat of a connection, but then you guys aren't really much like them. What is next for you guys? You obviously want to travel. Will you be recording anything else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have an album out by the end of actually this year's almost over. Soon.
Yeah, beginning
Soon.
of next year. So yeah, soon. That's I feel like the best answer to that.
No, that's the good one. Vague enough, specific enough. Yeah, nice one. Is there anything specifically that you guys want to mention? How did you come up with the hairstyle? It's Jonas.
Wait.
That one's Jonas.
I kind of just stopped cutting my hair, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this. I'll keep it like this, and I just kept this type.
It's sick.
Thank you.
It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Where, in terms of musicality, what direction are we going in now? Is there certain progressions that you want to make? Or is there ever any differences between you guys in terms of, like, I want to go more hardcore, other people want to go sort of more thrash? Do you ever have issues like that?
Yeah.
I sometimes it just depends. I want to write different styles. Like sometimes I feel like I want more pop punk songs.
Yeah.
Well, to mix in with the hardcore and thrash. Sometimes I just feel like even I want to write like a surfer song, I don't know, or a beach song.
Yeah.
Just something else.
Like the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
But like with more metal.
Yeah.
I'd say go for it. It's what the world's missing. You should do that.
I get really bored, so I don't like the pop punk songs.
Yeah. But you find a sort of balance there. You're able to. And again, like you said earlier, you just have to. Because you have to sit and eat dinner together.
Yeah.
So how do you feel currently, specifically Eve, I suppose, with the current climate, especially in Texas, with the news we've had in the past couple of days? Is that something that you think you might be incorporating into newer music, sort of abortion rights and stuff? Because you do get political, rightly so. Yeah, how is that something that you're going to bring into it?
I think so. I was thinking about it. So I'm thinking about writing a song about that.
It's not really something you can ignore, I suppose.
Yeah.
Especially when you're literally living in it. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, we can look at it and be like, God, that's awful. But if that is something that is potentially going to affect you, the best way as a musician is to write something about it. And it sounds like you're in sort of the perfect household to do so.
Mm-hmm.
What is it truly, from an outsider's perspective, what is the mood in Texas right now? Like, especially in the punk scene, what's sort of, is it kicking off?
I don't exactly understand the question.
Oh, sorry, I'm using British slang. Like right now, where you guys are, how is the punk scene where you are reacted to the news in the past week or so? Has any sort of benefit shows popped up? Is anything being done, or is it all just sort of very behind closed doors?
I haven't seen anything
I think
about
it's mostly very behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I know
but
people
could be incorrect. I don't know exactly. Yeah. I've seen like people like posting about it and stuff, but I haven't really seen anything like actual. Like,
I think it's just the right thing for the punk scene to be getting involved in, really. So I imagine that something would kick off, and I know that you guys would probably want to be at the forefront of that with your political leanings within your music. I mean, that's another thing as well, bringing it back to your age and singing sort of the songs you do about the topics you do. Is that specifically something that older people tend to target in your music? Like, I mean, already at my age, I'm in my 20s now, but people will always say to me, like, you're too young to understand. And I can imagine for you guys standing up and broadcasting it in front of people online as well as in person, do you get any backlash for being so political?
I wouldn't say backlash, but let me think.
I haven't heard people get mad at us for being so political or like say anything to me personally for being as political as young as we are.
Yeah, no one's said anything to me, but I don't.
Good. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, because like I guess that they see it also as good because we're so young and we have our own opinions on things.
Yeah.
Better than us being like sheep and brainwashed to just think what our parents think.
Yeah. Good.
Well, our parents do think that stuff that we write about, though. So.
Yeah, but you know, it is an example.
Is there anything else specifically that you guys want to mention while you're here to the British audience?
Well,
Not that I can think of.
No, I'll leave it there then, short and sweet. That was like 15-20 minutes, which is pretty normal for MPRV. So yeah, thank you so much. And
thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. And when you guys are over playing Rebellion and whatnot, I'll be sure to catch you. Blackpool's amazing and you'll love it. Nice one. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
You too.